Every time a new Batman trailer dropped, I couldn't understand how anyone wouldn't be hyped for a film where, under pouring rain, a furious vigilante shatters a criminal's bones, where, in the night, a steel monster erupts from tongues of flame, a devilish inferno tearing through concrete and flipping cars, and where a young warrior, lost in himself, tries to rediscover life, learn to love, and save a city from a maniac to the sound of Nirvana's rock. Matt Reeves's The Batman is everything I ever wanted. A massive, stylish, and wholly auteur-driven blockbuster, the most personal and honest take on the hero in years. The Batman marks the return of an approach lost with another Batman. An approach where every frame, every word, every cut, every musical note, every glance, every tear, and every scream matters and is meaningful. Where you can feel those costumes, those punches, those gunshots, those engine roars, where nothing is just props. Batman's story is one of sincerity, love, empathy, and above all, faith. That every lost and hopeless soul can embrace its scars and find purpose. So guys, have you noticed that The Batman is a movie about Batman? Obviously not Ant-Man, but that's not the point. The Batman is a myth straight out of a comic, brought to life on screen. Now Christopher Nolan, with all my respect and endless love for his trilogy, tried to justify Batman's existence in our world. His Batman and realism were so intertwined that the last two films felt like something you'd read in the news, just with Batman in it. That's not a bad thing. It was the whole idea, and no one has ever captured the essence of Batman, Bruce Wayne, and his internal and external conflicts better than Nolan, but we'll talk about that another time. Matt Reeves doesn't try to explain why a man in a bat costume exists in a world resembling ours. The vibe of his Batman is closer to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, not realism, not some gray conveyor belt product, but a handcrafted myth about the deeds and relationships of romantic-era heroes in a fairy tale world. The first 15 minutes of The Batman are the best opening to a superhero film since Spider-Man 2, a city suffocated by apathy and crime, drowning in endless rain, a man bound by fear, doomed from the start, an ordinary person terrified by the brutality of his so-called savior, a man who sees no protector in this shadow-dwelling devil, only another monster, a hero who understands the futility of his path, yet fights a battle he seems destined to lose. And then, Batman's gaze on a child who just lost his father, a look laced with grief that changed his life forever. In just 15 minutes, Matt Reeves shows us everything we need to know about Batman, Gotham, and the heart of this story. His Bruce Wayne isn't a boy who overcame his grief. He's one who locked himself in a cage with no meaning, no interests, no room for embraces, love, trust, or life. A cage where all he can do is watch silently. Its bars feed Bruce's rage, birthing a blind thirst for vengeance against the criminal who killed his parents, a face he now sees in every enemy. Retribution has blinded him so completely that he has to replay footage from artificial eyes embedded in his cowl just to remember what he did the night before. The tragedy of his Batman, his Gotham, is inseparable from the tragedy of his Bruce Wayne, because Bruce's vengeance has spiraled into endless frenzied violence, spreading fear and apathy among the city's few good people, while inspiring others to seek their own vengeance, seeing no other way out. Matt Reeves' Gotham is the most doomed, hollowed out, and terrifying version ever put on screen. It's either an eternal yellow night under unrelenting rain, or a gloomy, overcast gray day. It's endless distrust between everyone. It's the vile, greasy penguin scheming to become the crime world's king. It's a nightclub where corrupt cops guard the mafia. It's an underground den where Gotham's hopeless burn their empty lives away in a drugged haze with prostitutes. It's Selina's cramped apartment, her friend, and two madmen watching others through binoculars.
I don't remember the last time a superhero film felt this tragic, poetic, and romantic. Not since Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. And this pain, this fear, this ruin of Gotham, Bruce, Selina, and Edward wouldn't hit so hard without what might be the best genre direction in years. We could make a whole video about this. Matt Reeves and cinematographer Greig Fraser want you to feel Batman's pain and disorientation when he takes a shotgun blast to the chest, blurring and warping the world around him. They, along with composer Michael Giacchino, want you to feel the terror of not knowing where the Batmobile will strike next from the darkness. They want you to share Penguin's fear as he stares through shattered glass, watching a demon approach upside down. They want the whole world to hold its breath and blur when two warriors fall in love. They want you to see what it's like when a silent creature stops being a shadow, to watch the world through binoculars or another person's eyes. They want you to fly, to feel the height with Batman, to skid across the highway, every drift of the Batmobile visceral. To fight and feel every punch Batman takes. Every frame of the Batman has intent, an understanding of what the character feels and what matters in that moment. Never has a superhero film looked this beautiful, stylish, and meaningful at the same time. LED screen technology demolishes green screens. No post-production CGI or lighting-adjusted backgrounds can match the immersion of real light, real cars, real explosions, real costumes, and real makeup. But the true beauty of the Batman lies in Matt Reeves' faith that anyone can change, and by their example, change the world around them. His Bruce, drowning in self-imposed isolation, believed that by conquering his fear of losing loved ones, he'd gained the stoic strength needed to wage war on crime. But in denying himself the simple capacity to feel, he lost the ability to hear those closest to him. Bruce buried himself in vengeance, born from ideas that would have never taken root had he listened to Alfred. And his vengeance created the Riddler. Edward Nashton, abandoned to die in a cold orphanage by Gotham's elites, nursed his justified grudges against those who ignored him. He watched as the city's golden boy, living in a towering penthouse, did nothing to help the children freezing to death every winter. He saw a billionaire who could have changed the world but chose not to, and a Batman who only spread fear. A gifted mind like Edward's, in another life, might have healed. But faced with these two extremes, he twisted his scars into his own vengeance, a vengeance that became the bomb that nearly killed Alfred and flooded Gotham. Only by fearing loss again does Bruce finally hear the truth about his family. He realizes that strength doesn't come from wealth or armor, but from love, the willingness to sacrifice everything to protect what matters. Only by facing his buried terror does he understand Alfred's regret, that he taught an orphan boy to be a warrior, but not how to be human. Fear for Alfred's life finally makes Bruce see the flaw in rejecting love, the very love that saves him in the end. Meeting Selina, Bruce experiences something new, being held, being kissed, someone willing to die for him. And once he learns to trust, to love, he leaps onto a live wire to save his city. From the water emerges a new man, a Batman who in the endless dark and suffocating night of Gotham and his own soul lights a torch. A Batman followed by that same boy who once lost his father. A Batman who now wants to love, to confess love. A Batman who once recoiled from touch now refuses to let go of a rescued girl's hand, to give her faith that everything will be okay. A Batman ready to start a new chapter, one where there's finally room for hope.